political news, economic, you name it. It's all coming up after Lord Monckton leaves us. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones with PrisonPlanet.tv, where we're streaming video of the radio show right now.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
We have witnessed two terrible storms in the east, but we are still in the eye of the perfect storm. The most devastating economic conditions since the Great Depression, America's worst drought in agricultural history, and now the economic results of the presidential election. This perfect storm is a huge threat to everyone's food supply. I just doubled down and got even more supplies from eFoods Direct, and I recommend you do the same. It's time to get your own supply from eFoods Direct. I know I won't be standing in a bread line trading my freedom for food. I'm taking control of my future, and you're nuts if you don't do the same. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex to find the specials. And you can start with a holiday gift pack that's normally $80, now under $50. Remember, I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Would you rather prepare 6 months too early or 1 day too late? 409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Have you ever wanted to generate your own supply of electrical power, even save money on your electric bill? If so, this could be one of the most important messages you will ever hear. Solar-powered generators are now available. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical power. Unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly, emits no fumes, and produces electricity from the sun. It's like having an electrical power plant running quietly in your own home. Run sump pumps, shortwave radios, computers, and even keep your food from spoiling. Whether it's hurricanes, ice storms, brownouts, or blackouts, you'll never suffer through painful power outages again. And here's the best news. A remarkable fall truckload sale is going on right now that gets you $1,700 in bonuses when you buy a solar generator. To find out why these solar generators are the best generators and get $1,700 in bonuses for doing so, go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com. Generate your own supply of electricity. Go to falltruckloadsale.com. That's falltruckloadsale.com.
The Silver Lungs Generator is the only all-encompassing professional-class product for producing endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. With recent regulations threatening the sale of silver-based supplements, now you can secure yourself and your family by producing your own silver solutions anywhere, anytime. You can have the peace of mind knowing that you can create endless supply of silver anytime, anywhere, for any application. The Silver Lungs Generator is a one-time purchase that requires no maintenance nor replacement parts for the life of the unit. This product was designed to be an invaluable part of your vital preparations. For a detailed report on the differences between ionic silver, colloidal silver, and what most silver solution manufacturers are producing, please visit our website at www.silverlungs.com for more information on why you should be producing your own silver solutions right from your home forever.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Coming up, the Democratic Party is now running around saying that guns are terrorist weapons. So now they want to take your guns in the name of the war on terror. The chairman of the U.S. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has provided aspiring terrorists with an idea. Use a .22 rifle to take out power transformers. And they're now saying we've got to ban guns because terrorists may use them to shoot up power transformers. Just hoping copycats go out and do it. That's coming up. Okay, Lord Monckton, you've got the floor here for the next 10 minutes. Break down the points you're making. This is not hyperbole. The way they've bankrupted Europe with socialism, then their answer is bring in even more foreigners who then threaten to riot if you don't raise taxes again, to then engage in more social engineering. France is over 80% tax for people that actually work. Where is all this headed? Where is Europe going? And as England and the rest of the UK starts to wake up to the fact that you're under this domination and EU bureaucrats are exempt from taxes and the Parliament is ceremonial, where does it all end? And what is the latest, Lord Monckton, on their latest strategies to shut the power off in the West and seize control?
Well, what they're going to do next is they're already paying 3,000 EU bureaucrats more than the Prime Minister gets, which he gets $250,000 a year. And there are now 3,000 EU bureaucrats who get more money per year than the British Prime Minister, and they don't have to pay tax on it, and he does. So this is becoming a pampered overclass, which is gradually destroying the economies of all the countries that belong to it. There's a big row going on at the moment between Britain, Germany, France on the one hand, and we're on the paying end, if you like, of Europe, and the receiving countries who, as you say, are demanding more money, more social engineering, more feather bedding, and they're saying that we who are relatively prosperous should be paying for this, and the British people no longer want to do that, want out. If we were to leave the European Union, then we would no longer be running an annual deficit. Britain is a prosperous enough country that if we stopped being in the European Union, we'd have no more annual deficit and we could start paying back the national debt. And if we don't leave the European Union, then Britain will go down, as many other countries of the European will go down, as the ever-growing costs of various welfare handouts completely outstrip any possible capacity of taxpayers to pay for it. You're quite right. The top rate of tax on the rich in France is now 75 or 80%. In Britain, it's already gone up to 50%. It was 40. I got it down, in fact, from 60 to 40 when I was working at 10 Downing Street, and I worked with the then finance minister to take it down to 40. Huge resistance from the bureaucrats until they realized that we were getting more money from the rich by taxing them at a lower rate.
And you're now able to force the Prime Minister to actually act like a constitutionalist, and they're now stealing and adopting, which I guess is a good thing, if they actually carry it through, the UKIP platform.
Well, of course, the Prime Minister is now in a very hard place because his backbenchers, the people who don't have jobs in his government, but are all sitting in Parliament wondering what to do with themselves because Parliament no longer has any role in making legislation. That's all done for us now by Europe. It's just a kind of ceremonial body, as you say. So they're beginning to become quite fractious, and they have realized that while UKIP remains a growing force in British politics, and a very rapidly growing force, then never again can the Conservatives win an overall majority in Parliament. And if they can't win an overall majority, they can't govern on their own.
And by the way, you are the model. What UKIP has done, if we could get a real constitutional, libertarian, real conservative, pro-liberty type group in the Republicans, we could reverse things as well. But this is the globalist model.
Your Tea Party is doing a very good job in that general direction. You now have many Tea Party candidates in the Republican Party, but they haven't yet penetrated right to the top. And there was the problem. For the second time running, the Republicans chose the one candidate who arguably didn't have the slightest chance of ever beating Obama. When I first heard they'd picked Romney instead of, say, Herman Cain, who would have beaten Obama into a cocked hat, I knew then that they were going to lose. And sure enough, they have. And you can say that maybe Obama fiddled the vote in various places, and the Democrats do this much more ruthlessly on a larger scale than the Republicans do. But the fact is that Obama won it because the Republicans don't have the fight.
That's right. Herman Cain or anybody who had fight would have destroyed Obama. Mitt Romney tried to become Obama, and now their argument is, oh, we need to become more socialist. That's why conservatives didn't win. An absolute manipulation.
Well, this is the trouble. And of course, if you want to beat Obama, then do the one thing where he's really vulnerable, and that is take him to court because he has put up on the White House website a birth certificate that's manifestly bogus. I was approached by lawyers in the United States last week and asked to produce an affidavit looking at the evidence that the sheriff had assembled and working out what were the mathematical chances that that document was genuine if their evidence was correct. And the answer is that there was a chance that it was genuine. It was 1 in about 75 sextillion that it was genuine. And the rest of the time, it was very, very clear this is a bogus document. But will the Republicans lift a finger to do anything about this? No, they won't. They're terrified of the left, which on issues which really matter to it, like keeping Obama in power, they will do anything to destroy and discredit the reputation of anyone who did raise that matter. And the right in America have become frightened of this. They're terrified for their reputation. They won't speak out against Obama, and that's how he's got away with it. And the answer is you do have to fight. When you have somebody who possibly was born somewhere else, but certainly has an alien outlook on the future of America, and he's there in the White House, it's no good sitting back and letting him dismantle your country. The Republican Party has got to learn to fight on ground where it's going to win.
And by the way, going back to UKIP being really the model over here, and some of the things Ron Paul's done, and Campaign for Liberty being the model, you guys, for what, over a decade, have been hammering that the EU makes most of your laws when no one was listening. Now, and I'm not just saying this, I read British newspapers every day, and UK papers, and EU papers. You're now setting the agenda in spades, in triplicate, even though most of the time they don't give you credit. That doesn't matter. The real value is you're beginning to set the agenda. People in the UK are realizing there is an authoritarian takeover. People in the European nations who are being told to give up whatever sovereignty you had left to the bureaucrats, they're waking up. Just like if we expose globalists have hijacked us, and that global corporate interests have hijacked us, and that mega banks brag that they've hijacked us, and that Obama has told Congress that NATO and the UN is over our military, if we simply expose what they've arrogantly bragged about, their arrogance will bring them down if we just do what Ron Paul did in his farewell address. Expose that it is a global government run by criminal bureaucrats and their financial backers like George Soros. Lord Monckton, isn't it time to just embrace reality as you've done and admit what we're under?
I think what you have to do is to say, we will not let democracy die. We will not allow the vision of your founding fathers to disappear. We will not allow these bureaucrats worldwide, the Brzezinskis of this world, to set up a global government behind our backs and then inflict it upon us, whether on the excuse of the environment or any other excuse. We will not allow regional governments like that of the EU any longer to remain as unelected and undemocratic as they are now. We will win our democracy back. And those on the left who don't like it, get this. We are not going to allow you to prevail. We, the people, still believe in ourselves. And for as long as we believe in ourselves, whatever you try to do, whatever bureaucratic structure you try to create, you will not prevail. We will prevail whether you like it or not.
Well said, Lord Monckton. I want to give your website out. It's on screen for prisonplanet.tv viewers. scienceandpublicpolicy.org. A veritable encyclopedia of graphs, documents, proof. And again, I've been watching Lord Monckton for more than a decade before he became popular here in the United States. And just it's uncanny how accurate he's been predicting, exposing their frauds. I mean, if there's one guy shoving the sword into the dragon's heart, it's Lord Monckton. That's why he's demonized and attacked and lied about so savagely. The system hopes that you're not paying attention and just buys into their surface attacks, but more and more that's not working. In just the 2 minutes we've got left, I know you're going to be traveling to the Middle East soon. What is the latest UN global government power grab that we're facing?
Well, what they're going to do next is they're going to try to establish a global climate regime with the UN in charge. This is the thing they've been trying to do all along. They were thwarted at Copenhagen because I got hold of an early copy of the draft treaty in which they were going to set up a world government. We've stopped that, but they're still trying. And they're trying to say that the problem is ever more urgent, but that can't be right. Because since the second assessment report of the UN in 1995, there's been virtually no global warming since then. It stopped. Doesn't mean it's stopped forever. I would expect to see it resume next year, actually, but only at a very slow rate. A rate so slow that we don't have to worry about it. And so what we'll be doing in Qatar at the 18th of these annual climate conferences, where the UN little by little is trying to build itself a new power base around the environmental movement, we will be there to stop them. We're not going to allow anti-scientific extremism to prevail, we're going to say that after 16 years without any global warming, and in 16 of the 18 years they've been meeting, there hasn't been any global warming. The time has come to face reality, realize that the computer models were tweaked so as deliberately to get it wrong and exaggerate the problem, realize that in fact there is no problem. Hurricane Sandy had nothing to do with global warming. It was a purely natural...
Well, this is pure voodoo, like witch doctors 5,000